Welcome
to
to
Shade in the
Shade in the
City.
City.
I am your girl, Trice.
It's Nels.
And today we are here to give you Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 8, Episode 9, Beyond Scared Stormi. Is what it's giving. I didn't really like this title. But yeah.
Beyond Scared Straight, you know.
I know I didn't like it. So yeah, y'all. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button for us.
And that subscribe button because we almost at 1K.
And y'all been doing that, and we can
Y'all been
appreciate it.
doing great.
Okay, I think we got we ain't 25 in, but 27 or something like that. So 27 of y'all. Again, if 5 of y'all send it to 5 of your friends and they send it to 5 of theirs, we can hit 25 by tomorrow.
We trying to get these subscribers by tomorrow.
But we trying to get this 1K by tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, y'all, and let's get shady. So y'all, we're gonna get into the first scene. I literally have like 2 sentences, so maybe Nels will have something to add on. But we see Stormi getting herself together before she's getting ready to turn herself in. As we know, she has turned herself in based off the Melamita YouTuber, whatever you want to call her, showing up at her warehouse and Stormi losing her okay, which I feel like she had every right to, but that's neither here nor there. So then she gets all emotional. And Courtney's mom, Shelby, comes in to console her, and she thanks her for being there. She lets her know she tried reaching out to her mom, and basically, Miss Betty told her that's what she gets for being on reality TV. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have for that scene. I'm gonna say Miss Betty. I don't care for Miss Betty, and I'll just say that I never really have. However, she gives me, if y'all watch Power, she gives me Monet vibes as a mother. And how she's just not very, doesn't come off very loving, vulnerable, warm. That's warm. She gives me Cersei vibes. If y'all watch the Game of Thrones, y'all know where I'm coming from. That's all I'm saying. She gives me she gives me the vibe she'll make Stormi jump out the window. Okay. Just saying.
So I was confused by this scene because when I was thinking that she had to turn herself in, I thought she meant like actually have to like sit in a cell, like in jail. Because I was like, why are you getting your hair and makeup done if they're gonna make you take all that stuff off anyway?
Destiny did the same thing. So your mugshot will look cute. That's all. So when it becomes public and it's released to the public, she wanted her Destiny did the same exact thing when she turned herself.
Did Destiny actually sit in jail? Because it don't sound like she
for a couple hours, but when they take your picture and you do the mugshot, they just she wanted to make sure she looked good, regardless of how many hours she was spending. She wanted to make sure that's what that was about. It was about the mugshot.
Okay. Well,
all right.
So then Tisha met up with Destiny at a candle making place, since Destiny is starting her own home fragrance line, which will include candles. I
feel like I heard it's called, she has 2 fragrances so far. I'm sorry.
Reignite, she said.
No, I think that's the name of the brand, but the name of like the candle is something like I'm Still Her, and I forgot what the other one. Yes, girl. Yes.
It's giving. Who was the one that made a candle to smell like they hoo-ha? Was that Erykah Badu?
She made incense.
Incense to smell. I'll tell you offline. So
I was like, girl, is it in your Amazon cart?
no, I literally, it just gave me a whole nother idea. Okay, so then Trish, she gets there, and she gets in really Tisha's ass about her eating habits, because we know that's the trainer. Okay. And then of course the Lovers and Friends event came up. Destiny is talking about Moses and the Sunny conversation. She said Moses was staring at her from across the room the whole damn time. And apparently it's not like she had a nip slip.
Yeah, she had a nip slip. There was probably a lot of other men looking at you, but you were so focused on watching Moses.
Now she says she feels like Sunny is insecure, and sees death and sees her as a threat. And she said she felt the need to throw her ring all up in her face, but that don't mean nothing to her. Trish says she got a ring and she in a whole nother relationship, so really the ring don't mean nothing. Trish, I need you to stop. This is not something you should be like proud about, girl. File the paperwork, child.
Now,
Okay.
I will say this. I agree with Destiny and everything she said about Sunny. It is giving threaten.
Mm-hmm. Destiny said the only reason why basically Sunny got a seat at the table is because she got up, and she feels like she could have that man if she wanted him. Absolutely, positively, yes. If she wanted that, she could have that. Okay.
But do you want it? So now we see Courtney. He comes to pick Stormi up from, turning herself in. She said it wasn't as bad as she thought. She
was
said
there for a whole 15 minutes, she said.
she was in handcuffs for 15 minutes.
It was given you was there for a photo shoot.
She had a panic attack because, she had so much anxiety about being there. But she said the police were very supportive and understanding. You can tell she ain't been in no real trouble before. So she lets Courtney know that she still hasn't heard from her mom, and she's hurt by that. Courtney tries to convince her to talk to her mom and get that off her chest. And then Stormi thinks her mother won't care and says it's a repeat of basically it just reminds her of every time her mom hasn't been there for important moments in her life. And again, I already told y'all what Miss Betty gives. Y'all can agree or disagree in the comments, but I said
I
what I
hope
said.
she ain't paying her mama bills.
Oh, I definitely think she is.
Cause
and you know what's so funny? I had that same thought when I was watching the end of the episode and their scene, and I said, I feel so bad for Stormi because she's so about family. It gives me the vibe that even though her mother treats her badly, she's still probably paying for everything. Because that's family and that's her mom and that's the only mom she got. And again, y'all know I'm all about family. We just talked about this with the family empire that we just did. I'm all about family. But what I am about now at my big age is boundaries. And not everybody, you're not meant to be close to everybody. Sometimes it's a high and by situation. I see you at the family reunion once a year. Maybe we don't need to be best buddies. Maybe we don't need to be Facebook friends. Maybe it is what it is. I'm sorry. And I understand that's her mother, but thank God for Courtney's mom. That's all I'm saying. All right.
So Trish said that, at her birthday dinner, she did let Ken know that she would get the divorce started. She wanted to talk to her kids first. And she said the conversation went really well. And it was actually really nice to see that her kids were happy to see her in a happy relationship. And they could actually pinpoint, times that they saw them two laughing and joking. And they're happy to see her move forward with Ken. I thought it was a beautiful scene. I mean, we didn't get to see.
I thought it was a beautiful scene too, especially when her son was like,
he handsome. Her son is
very handsome.
Mm-hmm. You're giving Drea. Cut it out. It was dope when the daughter said something, but then I was worried because her son wasn't really saying anything. But then when he was the one that spoke the most when he did speak, and I was like, it was nice to see that he was genuinely happy to see his mom in a happy relationship. It was
right. He was like, "Oh my God, this is what you look like happy."
Yeah.
And
he said he even brings out a softer side of you that we're not used to seeing, that we love to see. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was a beautiful moment.
And it's so funny because you remind me of I saw this clip, and I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen it, about this young lady talking about the happiest or the best thing for a child, especially when you're in a co-parenting situation. The best thing for a child is to have a happy mother. And I think a lot of the times as mothers, we think keeping our kid, just keeping things together makes will make our kids happy. And so I thought that particular scene spoke to that directly, where she was in an unhappy marriage and her kids could see that, even though they were still in the same household. And so now being able to see her happy, they see what happy actually looks like.
And the fact that it's their daddy, and they're like, our daddy didn't do
Right,
nothing, and
right.
he was somebody else, and he's doing what daddy couldn't. So, so then, basically she told her kids she feels like now it's time to tell her family. First person she wants to tell is her sister Ebony, because she's like, she's here from California. I'm gonna let her know face to face, get her reaction first. Okay. So
Oh,
she
was
let her
Ebony from California? I thought Ebony was the closest to her, and her other sister is in California.
I thought she said she was there from California.
Oh, maybe I got it wrong. I thought the other sister was in California. That's why she hasn't said anything to her. And I thought Ebony was just like, oh, because she's in, but maybe I got it wrong.
I I don't know.
Y'all
I
drop
don't.
that in the comments and
Yeah,
correct me. Y'all will.
that's what I heard. So basically, she's like, I'm gonna get her reaction first. So she let her sister know that her and Ken have been living together for almost a year. Shock number one, clutch my pearls. Okay. Then she was even more shocked to find out that her and Marquez, the husband, okay, have been separated,
The ex.
have been separated for about 4 years. 4 years. Okay. So her sister's
They
like,
sure love them M names down there. Marquez,
they do.
Martel,
Yes, they do.
Montez.
So she's like, so I mean, I thought you was just having fun. So like y'all not getting back together? Like, there's no chance, like you don't still love him? She's like, yeah, I got love for him, girl, but it ain't like that. She's like, I love you, but I ain't in love with you. It
Well,
ain't
you know
the
what?
same.
To that, and that's probably why Ken felt he said something about that in the past episode about how they go to family gatherings and people are still confused. I think a lot of people thought she was just having fun. And I think that's why they don't, I'm not going to say they don't respect him, but that's why when he comes around, they're like, especially down south, if it ain't something serious, why are you bringing him around? That's your friend until they become something else. That's her friend.
Hmm. Well, she just said that they were very traditional.
Right.
So basically, her sister basically she was just kind of more hurt that she didn't feel comfortable to come talk to them, come talk to her siblings, because she was like, if I was going through the similar situation or whatever I was going through, I'm definitely coming to talk to y'all or whatever. But she said, at the end of the day, she was like, I would have loved for you and Marquez to work it out. That's the father of your children. He's been a part of the family forever, but what matters is your happiness. That's what matters the most. And that made her feel amazing. And I think it made her feel a lot more ease to go speak with the rest of her family about it.
Right. Now we see Courtney, Chris Fletcher, Martell, and Ken. They're all getting together to go bowling.
This was an awkward scene.
It was an awkward scene. Did anybody else notice that the Scott brothers haven't been around a lot for the guy outings? I think the only one we saw was when Marceau met up with Moses and Reese, but outside of that, we haven't really seen them interact with the other guys. It was just
Have we
mentally.
seen him with Martell at all?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Or actually, no, because remember at the beginning of the season, he told Martell what he was doing didn't make sense. But that's the only scene that we seen with Marceau and Martell. And I think Martell was so Martellish and in his playing a victim role that I think even Marceau decided to kind of distance himself. So anyway, they talk about the lovers and friends party. Courtney brings up that Martell backed out at the last minute. Ken brings up Tricia being upset that he acted like he didn't know her at Stormi's house. Martell says she looked different. And Chris asked how they were supposed to, Chris is like, well, how are y'all supposed to know each other anyway? Which is so weird because
Chris was asking all the right questions.
he was, but what didn't Martell say that Chris tried to introduce them?
Mm-hmm. He said try to introduce them, but he didn't think that he knew her.
Okay.
He
I guess.
didn't, clearly he didn't get a chance to introduce them. So he's like, well, how did you, if I didn't introduce you, how'd you know her then?
Okay. So Martell says they know each other through his brother, but says,
No, that's not what he said.
what did he say?
That ain't what he said. What he said was, she knows my brother, but we
Yeah.
didn't meet through my brother.
He said he knows her from being out.
From being out. So the fact is, this to me was what was bothering me, because when she speaks, we understand, or at least I understood it, that's why it was bothering me so much that he was acting like he didn't know her, because it was like, you know her through your brother. The way she made it seem was like they grew up together.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I knew Martell. I know his brother. Da, da, da. We know each other through his brother. Martell said she knows my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't meet her through my brother. Basically, yeah, that's my brother's joint. That ain't got nothing to do with me. So why would I recognize her? My brother knew her. I knew of her because of my brother, but my brother didn't introduce me to her. I don't know her through my brother. I met her out on some other type of situation.
Well, to Nels's point, Chris is still unclear of why Trish would be upset by this. And Ken says it was because it gave, basically gave the wrong impression, like they may have, messed around before. So Martell says he's dealt with so many women and he doesn't know how he was supposed to keep track if, and he said, especially if we've never messed around with each other, how am I supposed to remember her? So Martell brings up Ken being Trisha's side dude. And then Ken makes it clear that he's waiting on Trish to make a move. And basically, he's not going to wait too much longer. Then Martell brings up wanting to get married again. Why? And Chris brings up, well, why don't you? So you gonna marry Coleslaw? That's basically what he said. They bleeped it out, but that's absolutely what he said. And Martell, he said Arion, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought you meant he said coleslaw.
Oh no, he didn't say that. And then Martell basically tells him to stop asking about that, but said, they playing with me, but they're gonna be surprised when they get an invitation to my wedding. Unfortunately, Martell. Now, granted, there are gonna be some stupid women that sign up for that, right? However, how you have displayed yourself on this public platform, anybody with some sense is not gonna sign up for it. But there's always somebody out here that ain't got good sense.
Ray sign up for it. What was funny was
You gonna marry him?
Martell. What was
Ray
funny
needed a
was
storyline. That's why she signed up for it. They both needed storylines. I don't think, and I know Sheree can make very bad decisions, but in this particular instance, I don't think that was serious at all.
when it comes to men.
Yeah, but I don't think that was it at all.
That Martell basically said, the question is, will a woman accept him having 5 kids and he has 7 days on and 7 days off? And Courtney was like, yeah, well, if you marry one of the ones you had the kids with. Martell was like, chill out. I don't know. I was just like,
can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Courtney and Chris is just getting in that.
Because remember they cousins. But is it just, if I was Coleslaw watching this back, I would be so embarrassed.
She should have been embarrassed when he called her a peasant.
No, she should. I'm not.
That would have been dunzo for me.
But the fact that this man continues to get on his platform and let people know that you are not that girl.
Because she is a dumbass. He's disrespecting you numerous times, and you keep on taking this man back and publicly doing it. She's a dumbass. She should feel like a dumbass because she is a dumbass, and it shouldn't take this to make her feel like a dumbass.
Well, Nell spoke a word. All right, go ahead.
Stormi. Okay, so she has her mother over.
And Cersei.
I ain't calling nobody's mama Cersei. So she has her mama
Monet, whatever you want to call it. Monet, Cersei, Bad Mothers 101.
Jesus Christ. She has her mother over to let her know, how she hurt her feelings. But in the midst of that, basically she started talking about surrogacy, and her mom is all on board for her getting a surrogate because, she feels like it's a safer route. especially with everything that she's gone through. Um, but back to the discussion at hand. She's like, "Mama, you hurt my feelings." Okay, and her mom already know what the hell she's talking about.
Well, I
Okay.
will say before you go past that, I do appreciate them bringing some real life issues and concern to the forefront on our television screen, because the reason why Miss Betty is okay with Stormi having a surrogate now is because they're in Alabama, and apparently they're one of the ones that have shut down or smorshing. Y'all know what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if Stormi were in a situation where it was saving her life or the child's life, that might not be doable there. They might again decide to save the child, and Stormi would just have to, so I could appreciate Miss Betty like bringing that to the forefront and bringing it to our TV screen. However, I still don't care for her, but go ahead.
So basically, her mom basically started off by making excuses, okay, talking about how Courtney's mom was there because, she lives there in Alabama. She don't got an 80-year-old woman living with her. And, she's not able to get up out the bed in the middle of the night and just come to her beck and call just because she needs her. Okay. And her mom told her that
I'm never there when you call, and I'm never on time.
mm, and not willing to apologize. Uh,
Mm.
so her mom basically told her that, this is what you needed, girl. You needed to get some tough love. That, and this ain't the first time you have him. Remember, you got locked up when you was 18. So me like, girl, I'm a whole grown ass woman, and this was some mess I didn't even do. Okay, so what does that have to do with anything? Okay, and then told her if you would have just listened to me, okay, this would have never happened. Apparently, she told her not to be all in the public eye. Okay, and she told her that the circle that she got around her, made people activate. And she put a name on it. She was talking about Mel. I said, oh, well, I ain't surprised she put a name on it. I ain't even gonna lie. Uh, and basically, she said even though Mel feels like she can't control people, she does have a voice to let people know what she disagrees with, and let people know what she stands. Now, this I've been saying this from numero uno, day one. I feel like what she just said with that part, she was valid. And I'm not saying that Mel makes people activate, but if you would have just simply said in the beginning, I don't believe Stormi had anything to do with this. You refuse to say that. But if you would have said, I don't believe Stormi had anything to do with this, or whatever the case may have been, you're not going to have all these people hating her. You're not going to have all these people down her throat and disliking her because they feel like you dislike her because of this situation. But you won't do that. You're not going to go on your public platform and correct the wrongdoing.
Well, I know Mel responded after seeing this scene and told Miss Betty that, first of all, you had a problem with me before you even met me, because she's been watching Love and Marriage Huntsville since season 1. She's never liked Mel. And she said, and the fact that I've been in your face multiple times and you've only had nice things to say to me, and then you get up in these Facebook groups and then you go online and you go on the show.
That's not true, because when they were at that tea, she didn't have nice things to say to her.
Right,
And
but
he told her,
she's seen her before that and didn't address it. You remember when she was sitting up in Stormi's house and Miss Betty was there because she was helping take care of Chess, and she absolutely said it, like, didn't address Mel.
and that was
About
after that situation.
Mhm. That was the beginning of last season before they like fell out.
Hmm.
So I'm just saying, y'all know I'm just reporting and giving y'all the tea in these
But see
streets.
that, but even still, that still bothers me. You still got up there and addressed her, but you still won't address the fact that you don't believe that Stormi had anything to do with it.
No, I absolutely understand your point of view and what you're saying.
And
And
who
then
knows? Maybe she didn't address it because Stormi asked her not to. Stormi should have addressed it. Stormi should have talked to her about it.
right.
But and then Stormi did, and then she still didn't say nothing about it. And then I know Miss Betty said something after Stormi addressed it.
Okay.
So I don't know, but I feel like if you said publicly something wrong, you should publicly correct it. And she has yet to do that. Still.
Well, she publicly corrected Miss Betty and said, because I guess Miss Betty went back and said something about, oh, Stormi didn't need you to get on this show and da da da. And I guess Mel used Stormi's house for her music video, one of her music videos. And so basically she cleared Miss Betty and said, Boo, do you understand
Oh, I
how
think
much?
I know what video you're talking about.
But she was like, do you understand that it is because of me that your daughter is on this show?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm basically gathered her together real quick and said, have several seasons. She said, I could have shot my video. Stormi got paid, but it was also highlighting her because we were getting ready to, she was trying to get on the show. So that was me doing her a favor by shooting. I could have shot many places all over the world.
I don't know if at that time, wasn't that her first video?
It might have been the one
I
where
think-
Martell showed up.
Yeah, I think I know which video. I think that was her first video before it was like
A big, yeah.
Yeah. Stormi let her know that, you know, she receives what she's saying, but still what she wanted in that moment was, you know, motherly family support. I wanted you to be here for me and support me. Her mama said, well, we don't always get what we want. Stormi was like, what? Like literally her face was, what? Like what? Then Stormi told her, you know, this is not the first time she hasn't showed up for her, and then started going down the list of, Mama, you ain't been here for me a few times.
No, it was her. You were late to my wedding. She was like, we were done.
She said we were doing makeup. She said, no, you were doing your makeup. We were done. We were.
Oh, you mean done? Okay, I took it as the ceremony was done by the time she showed up.
Oh, I didn't know. That's not what I got from it.
Oh, okay. Maybe I missed that part about the makeup.
But even still, I mean, yes, even like that, like you want your mom to be there while you're getting ready to help you, and you know what I mean? Like,
no, I get it.
Man, what are you doing that day? Lord only knows how long we've been planning this thing. This day should be where you have nothing else to do. Do it before and the day after. This is my day, okay? And then basically, you know, she told her, I want you to make me feel like a priority. Miss Betty tells her that she is a priority, okay? Really not giving that. But, you know, she told her that, you know, she got to let her drag her, her butt drag the ground to teach her a lesson. Apparently, this is something her daddy would have told her to say. After some back and forth, Miss Betty finally, eventually apologized. I don't know how genuine it was. But Stormi's like, that's all I wanted. Thank you. First time for everything. I appreciate it.
Right.
I appreciate you.
Now, I will say this. I think that this scene in particular shows how much Stormi, if she's not in therapy, she's done some work, because I would have gotten frustrated. And I feel like Miss Betty, unfortunately, is a part of that generation where that tough love thing and not having feelings and just shrugging it off. But again,
that's what she said.
But again, we are family, so we gotta stick together. You got, even if I treat you badly. Mm-hmm. And so I can appreciate Stormi being patient with her mother, and really,
because she knows that's who she is.
And that's what I'm saying. But again, as we talked about at the top of the episode, if that's who you're gonna be, meet the new me. Meet the new me and meet my boundaries.
Stormi ain't like that though.
And I know she's not. And that's why I said shout out to Stormi, because you can tell that she's, even when she was talking about, she was like, I received that. Even if she didn't agree, I'm gonna receive what you're saying. That's why I said she's clearly done some work. And it's terrible when you've done work and then you're dealing with people who completely haven't, because you can tell.
They're not willing to.
And they're not willing to. So yeah, shout out to Stormi for that, because my boundaries would have been up, and find out how your rent's gonna get paid next month. So if y'all haven't already, Shade Squad, please make sure that y'all have hit that like button for us.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure you subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And hopefully the next time we come back to you, we'll be 1K deep. That's what I'm hoping for. I just put it out in the universe. But anyway, y'all, we love you. Thank you so much for your support. And we'll catch you for another recap next week. Bye-bye.